Hello there people, this is Bruce or nintenbruce here, back again with another deck recipe for the Yu-Gi-Oh! September 2013 format. And this is a very fun little deck that I love playing with. It's my Ancient Bonds deck. Barely anyone plays Ancient Gears, let alone Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem anymore, so let's revive it a little bit for the current format. Now the point of this deck, besides running machines and having the Ancient Gears out, is to also do an OTK or a one-turn kill with Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem and Power Bond. So it brings it up to 8800 attack, it cuts through defense, and most of the time finishes people off. But even if you can't pull it off, like I say, this deck can hold its own. So without further ado, let's go through the monsters, spells and the traps, and we'll cover other points in between as well. So I'll say as well, most of these Ancient Gear monsters have the effect, in fact I might as well just say Ancient Gear Knight is it I believe, who's a Gemini beastie. Yeah, all the other ones, when they attack, the opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards in response until after the damage step, so I won't repeat that point constantly over and over again, okay? But yeah, starting off, 3 Ancient Gear Beasts. Might seem kind of terrible being a tribute monster and 2000 attack and 2000 defense, but with Geartown out, you don't have to tribute a monster for it, so it's just a simple normal summon, and there you have it, a 2000 attack and 2000 defense monster, which negates the opponent's beasties that it destroys by battle, whether it be things like Naturia Cherries, Plague Spreader Zombie, etc, etc. Yeah, I believe this is a staple for this type of deck, so definitely run 3 of these. Got 1 Ancient Gear Engineer. Unfortunately it is quite weak, but its effect is amazing, which I figure, why not run 1 at least. Its effect, besides the whole Ancient Gear thing, is even when it's out and about, the opponent cannot target with its trap cards even outside of battle phase, so no bottomless trap hole, no compulsory evacuation device. Yeah, it's a brilliant little card, and on top of that, once it attacks, even if it can't destroy the monster entirely, you can still select an opponent's spell or trap card to just destroy after the damage step. It's a fantastic little card, it really is, so run 1 of these I'd say. We've got 2 Ancient Gear Gadjitron Dragons. Unlike some formats of I won't say Ancient Gears, but there's some formats which just purely rely on Ancient Gear Gadjitron Dragon and destroying as many Geartowns as possible. For an Ancient Gear deck, you don't need to run 3 of these. You can run 2, unless you're running the gadgets, then I'd probably recommend 3 because of the certain types of effects. But yeah, 2 Ancient Gear Gadjitron Dragons are more than enough in my opinion. So its effect in this type of deck, besides the Ancient Gear part of it, you're not going to be using because there are no gears. But it is a monster that can be special summoned with Geartown, and with this type of format where there's now no longer a simple monster reborn, you don't have to worry too much about your opponent trying to special summon your own monster if you're discarding it to the graveyard through trade-in or anything like that. So yeah, I find Ancient Gears actually more playable now in the current format. So yeah, 2 of these little beasties. We have 3 Ancient Gear Golems, because obviously this deck is about the Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem and you want to have as many materials as possible, and even if you can get this beastie out, it's a brilliant beastie. 3000 attack, 3000 defense, even if it's Book of Moon or whatever, your opponent is going to have a hard time trying to run over it. And besides the Ancient Gear effect, it's also got piercing damage, which is amazing. A lot of people are in trouble if they can't destroy Ancient Gear Golem outside the battle phase. So definitely run 3 of these little beasties, or big beasties I should say. And now 3 Ancient Gear Knights. So I kind of covered him earlier with the effect that he doesn't start with straight away, but its Gemini effect is when you normal summon it again, then it gains the Ancient Gear effect. You might not be using that part more often than not, but it is an 1800 beast stick. I think it's a staple in an Ancient Gear deck. And on top of that, it is a machine, so you can combo it with other cards in this deck. So yeah, definitely run 3 of these beasties. I've got 2 Cyber Dragons here. Absolutely love this card. Besides a simple special summon, remember, if your opponent's running machines, then you can go into Chimeratech Overdragon and even side in another one. You can use your own monsters for Chimeratech. I'm saying Overdragon, sorry, not Overdragon, Fortress Dragon, my bad. But yeah, you've also got Cyber Twin Dragon in this deck as well. So 2 is definitely not too many. I did want to run a 3rd one, but there just wasn't enough space for him, and he was taking up valuable side deck space as well. So a bit of a shame, but 2 is definitely the least you should run. 3 Elemental Hero Prismas. Now the reason for this is because you want to turn it into an Ancient Gear Golem. So use its effect, get rid of an Ancient Gear Golem from the deck to the graveyard, and then it's fusion material, right for Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. So that's the whole point of it. Not much else. 1700 attack ain't too bad either. But yeah, 3 of these definitely. 1 Malefic Cyber End Dragon. You know, you're running those Geartowns, so why not? Only downside is obviously the Malefic effects of it's the only monster that can attack, so don't go all out, you know, special summoning Malefic Cyber End Dragon, then bringing out Ultimate Ancient Gear, going with Power Bond, and then realising you can't attack, and then taking 4400 damage. Yeah, time it well with Malefic Cyber End Dragon. End of the day, at the very least, it's a staller, you know, 4000 attack is it's a bit much to try and just simply walk over. You have 1 Morphing Jar to clear through your hand and find those important cards. Also messes up the opponent's hand. You know, a lot of people hang on to the things they really need now. The bad side with this format is a lot of people set, so obviously if you see the opponent's got next to no hand left, then maybe reconsider playing this card. But I find him still very, very handy in this deck. And then we've got 1 Summoner Monk. I think 2 is too many, especially with another search card we've got for Elemental Hero Prisma. But yeah, that's mainly what Summoner Monk is there for. Use its effect, discard a spell card, bring out Prisma, make it become Ancient Gear Golem, then turn it into Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem, and then attack. So yeah, that is the monsters. I think that's pretty fine as it is. Going to spells, pretty much staple Dark Hole. We've got 3 Geartowns, so remember both effects. 1, that it's 1 less tribute to bring out all these lovely ancient geared beasties, and 2, when it's destroyed, as long as you don't miss the opportunity to activate the effect, then you can special summon out an ancient gear monster viable from the graveyard, deck or hand. So again, primarily going to be Ancient Gear Gadjitron Dragon. You can't special summon Ancient Gear Beast or Ancient Gear Golem, so you know, have a think about what you want to chuck in a graveyard or whatever. Not that your opponent can special summon them anyway nowadays, but yeah, just remember these things with Geartown. 1 limiter removal, because there's a ton of machines in here, so why not? It's a complete game changer. 1 mind control, because there's quite a few XYZ monsters here, and you've got quite a few different levels in this deck, so yeah, why not? Why not? 1 MST, 2 Pot of Dualities. So I love this little searcher, and there's not too much special summoning that goes on here. I mean, what, you've got your fusion, got Malefic Cyber End, and you've got the 2 Cyber Dragons. I suppose you could class Summoner Monk as that as well, but meh. The one thing I would watch out for is playing Pot of Duality with Geartown. So remember, you're giving the opponent an opportunity to destroy Geartown without the backlash of special summoning out Ancient Gear Gadjitron Dragon. But yeah, other than that, that's only a slight setback there. 2 Pot of Duality, search your deck for all those key cards. Why not, eh? Why not? I like to say search the deck like you search the whole thing. You guys know what I mean. 3 Power Bonds, because it is all about that OTK fusion summon. So you special summon a fusion monster that's right for the picking, whether it's Cyber Twin Dragon or Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. Those would be the main ones I would choose. You double its original attack, and on top of that, the downside is that if your monster is still there at the end of the turn, you take damage equal to the original attack. So say Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem, that'll be 4400 damage if you don't finish the game. But you know, it usually finishes off a lot of people, especially Cyber Twin Dragon. Bearing in mind it gets to attack twice, you're bumping it up to 5600 attack. You know, that's potentially that's 11,200 if I can count. Yeah, it's beautiful. Run 3 of these definitely. 1 reinforcement of the army for Elemental Hero Prisma. By the way, I forgot to say, remember with Prisma you can turn it into Cyber Dragon as well. Just figure I'll throw that out there for you. 2 Terraforming, because Geartown is quite important. And even if you've bumped into the majority of your Geartowns already, you can throw Terraforming away with Summoner Monk if you really wanted to. 1 trade-in, because why not? You know, you're going to have those odd hands where you have, you know, all of your tribute monsters, which is terrible, but this at least helps you out. Going into the traps, 3 Royal Decree, because you don't want your opponent activating the Solemn Warnings, Bottomless Trap Hole. You know what it is. I mean, a lot of people are trap heavy now with the ban of Heavy Storm and whatnot, so why not run those Royal Decrees? And then these BCs anyway stop any other normal activations. So say you attack and someone tries to activate a damage changing card, they can't. So yeah, 3 Royal Decrees. And then 1 Torrential Tribute, because you know you're not going to be negating your own traps all the time. You've only got 1 other trap card to be using, and Torrential Tribute, it's a dark hole. You know, it's a staple. What can I say? So going into the extra deck now, we've got 3 Ultimate Ancient Gear Golems, because you never know when you're gonna, you know, summon out quite a lot of them. You know, I've been tossing and turning between taking a 3rd one out, in all honesty, but you just never know. You never know. You know, if you guys start playing a lot with this deck, then you guys can decide. But I find 3. You know, I find this extra deck and side deck okay as it is. So 3 of these. Remember as well that if someone destroys Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem, then you can special summon out an Ancient Gear Golem from your graveyard, ignoring the summoning conditions. You know, absolute beast. Plus it's got the Ancient Gear effect, and it's got piercing damage. So this is why it's primarily an OTK. There's a lot of low defences out there. 8800 can finish off a lot of games. 2 Chimeratech Overdragon. We've got the Overlord fusion in the side deck just in case, and you can still power bond with it as well. 1 Chimeratech Fortress Dragon, initially anyway. You know, you got your Cyber Dragon, as I was talking about earlier on. Decide when to play it and beef this guy up with your opponent's monsters if they're playing machines. 1 Cyber End Dragon, primarily for Malefic Cyber End Dragon. 1 Cyber Twin Dragon, because you're not going to be doing many fusion summons of this at all. Going into the XYZ monsters rather, we've got Diamond Direwolf and number 39 Utopia for level 4. We've got Shark Fortress for level 5. Photon Strike Bounzer for level 6, Garbage Eyes Fat Dragon and Hieratic Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis, whatever, for level 8, and even 1 Gustav Max for level 10. It is possible to bring it out. Bear in mind, what you can do is if you've got this Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem on the field with Power Bond, you've done the majority of the damage already and you're about to take a big hit, summon out Malefic Cyber End Dragon, you know, exceed, summon it, and then finish off the game with 2000. Bearing in mind you can pinch your opponent's 10-star monster. Not that that'll happen often, but you know what? Not a lot of people are expecting it. So I would definitely say run a 10-star. Side deck, a 2nd Chimeratech Fortress Dragon for those people that play a lot of machines. Turning the deck more into a proper Ancient Gear beatdown deck, we've got 2 Ancient Gear Castles, 1 Ancient Gear Workshop, a Book of Moon, Gold Sarcophagus, My Body is the Shield for the proper destruction types out there, an extra Mystical Space Typhoon, as I've already mentioned, Overload Fusion, traps, Bottomless Trap Hole, compulsory. Not a lot of people are expecting the Malevolent Catastrophe. I mean, a lot of people see it as a poor man's Heavy Storm, which it is in all honesty, but the plus side with this deck is you destroy your own Geartown, so you do get a double whammy out of it. So either play this or Magical Hat, so I feel that deserves an honourable little mention there as well. 1 Mirror Force, 1 Return from a Different Dimension, and a Trap Stun for those who go Mystical Space Typhoon heavy on your Royal Decree, so swap 1 for 1 out. Again, there doesn't seem to be much in terms of negation. Like for those that see my Decade Duels Plus video, you've obviously got Heavy Storm and Giant Trinade and the like, and just having 3 Royal Decree seems a bit, what's the word? You know, you're not going to be keeping your monsters safe all the time. But in this format, I honestly think it's fine. And with Pot of Duality, you're going to be finding this more often than not. So I'd say you're safe just having the 3 negation cards. And there we have it, guys. So that is my Ancient Bonds deck. What do you guys think? I think it's a little beauty. Very, very fun deck to play, not meta-ish at all. And of course, you know, you're going to have duff hands where you're going to lose sometimes, but whatever. I find it's all about fun occasionally, and, you know, scoring the win with Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem is a really nice feeling. So give it a whirl, guys. Pop your comments and your thoughts in the section below. I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. And until next time, you guys take care, and I will see you again soon.